You're like, God damn, why did TLO have to wait so long until we saw his games? I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Top right hand side from Gamers Origin. It's his last matchup of the day. It is Stephano. And he is going up against the Blue Zerg upper left from Team Liquid, TLO. So you guys might be wondering, what's Wardy talking about? Bubbles? Why? What's going on? Like, has he just lost his mind? Is he just going a little bit crazy? Like, is he, is he just not having a great day? Well, I would like to introduce you guys to Bubbles. He's a little bit scary at first sight, but again, yesterday Lambo named him Bubbles, and I really hope this map makes the ladder, just so we always call him Bubbles. That's the plan. That is the plan. So just always call him Bubbles. So if this map makes the ladder, you guys have got to keep the meme and call him Bubbles. What do you play? I do play StarCraft 2. I usually main Terran. I like to off-race Zerg. My Protoss kind of sucks. I'm Master League with all 3 races though, so... Or at least... When I'm practiced, I'm Master League with all 3. My Protoss probably isn't Masters right now, probably like mid Diamond, but... I've been Masters with them all before, and... Well, I should probably talk about the actual game, because we have a 13-12 coming up here from TLO to get started in the ZvZ. So let's do this. Hatchcast pool coming up from Stephano. Now, this isn't a short map by any stretch of the imagination. This is a pretty lengthy map, and TLO will start to bring his lings across here. So already looking to be a bit aggressive, of course. He'll arrive with the spawn pool around about finishes from Stephano. And as this is a 13-12, obviously the Bane Nest is now on its way as well. So Bane Nest coming through, that's dropping down, will allow for some Banelings in the very near future. As those Zerglings about to arrive in the natural expansion, about to pop on up in towards this base, and going to be able to get going. Some damage to be done. Swankola starts up from Stephano, who saw the lack of creep spread over here, so already knew about this, or actually saw the Zerglings, I guess, with this Overlord even faster than what I'm talking about. And as those lings deal some damage, the next couple of lings from TLO will morph Banelings. And that's why Stephano doesn't even try and start holding this hatchery, it seems. Drones will go back up to the high ground. He's just going to let this Spankroller finish up on the high ground too, as we do see those lings nibbling away on the hatch still. Bane's on their way over here. Queen is going to get surrounded, actually. And we're going to have the Banes coming back in. Don't want to use themselves if they don't have to, though, but they're very low, which means that they have to use themselves before they just get blown up like that. That's the issue. Gets one Zergling only there, and now that Spinecrawler will come into play as TLO dives for the Queen. And, well, that Spine's still just poking away, and lings continue to be taken down. Baneling doesn't quite find the big connection it was maybe looking for there. I don't think TLO in general has found the damage he's been looking for right now. That Bane is still trying to be kept alive, but it's so low. There's no speed on these Zerglings, but they're still fast enough to get the kill. And while TLO, he has more lings gathering together, but it feels like he still needs more Bane connections. Stephano right now is not only holding with extra lings here, he's got the hatchery alive, the spine is still alive. He actually, just straight up has a work lead, obviously. 20 workers to 12 at the moment. TLO has ling speed though, which creates some better fights for him, especially as Stephano comes quite far out onto the map with these Zerglings. More Zerglings on the way up. TLO will start to expand, but he still has to beat that worker deficit as well. In general, this defense of Stephano has just been pristine. He really didn't lose anything he didn't have to. He lost a couple queens, but he got so much value out of each of those queens going down. Lings will continue towards the upper right. Now, as Stephano comes in for the counter-attack, TLO is still making more Zerglings. It's just this Spinecrawler gives Stephano so much confidence. He's like, well, if I got a Spine here, I'm not dying to anything anyways, so... He's pretty confident, and now he can even afford to wall off, so if these lings do get across, the Spine and the Queen can just sit and poke for days, and Stephano will have a long time to prepare a follow-up. Now, he's wolfing in TLO, these Banes on the low ground, and if you get up here and Baneling busts down the Spine, then maybe the ling numbers are enough to do something. Lings into the main base now. Stephano has speed of his own. The issue is Stephano has this wall up, so TLO has to spend time breaking through this, and the Evo Chamber even finishes, which means there's going to be Broodlings to help the fight. That's going to be GG. TLO was losing. This is an interesting map from the Challenge 1 section of this event. Kick this off to the bottom right hand side. Our red Zerg player is Stephano from Gamers Origin. And his opponent to the top right hand side in the blue is Team Liquid's TLO. So, drones overlords on the way. as we get ourselves into Lotus. Now let's take a little bit of a look around the map. As you see, the gold base here already being shown by this overlord. This leads around the back of this bridge. You can walk along it, but you can't build on it, which creates a bit of an interesting dynamic as to how it can be used. This drone will pull down to the low ground as both players are looking for hatchery first. TLO will go hatchery first on the gold base. Interesting. You know what? I already kind of like it. Reminder, guys, $700 up for grabs for the best plays using the maps, and if TLO can find something cool with this gold base, I think that would be a pretty good contender for what's going on. So I'm a fan. I am a fan already. This tournament is to test maps, not specifically win. This tournament is, well, a tournament, right? It's still competitive. There's a lot of prize money on the line. Players will play to win. No, even if you cheese, even if you be aggressive, it tests the map. It shows what builds can work and what won't and stuff like that sometimes. Yada yada. He's getting into this. This drone going to throw down a spawning pool. And, well, TLO actually going free hatch very quickly here. So free hatch before pool. TLO looking to use that gold base. Let's see if he gets away with this. As Stephano's first overlord obviously flew over the gold, so he knows what's up. And he's about to see the other hatchery as well. So you already will know what's going on here. Quick moment, guys. Apologies. Just getting something fixed up. And we'll be right back into the talking about the game. Perfect. Alright, so gold base mining away right now. It's getting going. Here's a TLO. Getting some income going. Hatchery on the natural is going to finish up. And, well, we got a couple lings on the way out at the moment. So a couple lings on the way through here from Stephano. I mean, he knows that this is an aggressive or a greedy build from TLO. So he might try and aggress against this. I mean, he takes a third hatchery anyways, but still stacking lings. Bane and Nest coming down. And obviously TLO, in a response to this, only just started his ling speed. If he goes straight into a Bane Nest, though, that could work as well. In the bracket, what's the two numbers to the right of the win, tie, loss column? That's the map score of the players. You see Zerglings on their way towards the upper side of the map. Again, a few more Zerglings on the way through. Obviously, Stephano really, as he gets speed, he is going to look to launch an attack and to be very aggressive into this. Banes will morph into the left-hand side. So he's just getting themselves set up to go, and well, it's all going to be arriving very shortly. Again, TLO knows though. He sees this with the Overlord. He starts to spine on the gold base. His Bane Nest is on the gold base too, and he morphs into Banes. It's actually a very safe position. That's actually in a really safe position. We're going to see these lings getting a drone already, trying to get after one of these Banelings. And he gets to cancel on this Baneling over here. Used a Baneling as well to help out. There's one Baneling that will finish morphing though. So TLO has a Bane on his side. A lot more Banes coming in for his opponent though. That one Bane, there was actually in a great position before in terms of being able to morph in. Now it's turning into some trouble. TLO though, targeting down the Banelings of his opponent. He's only lost 2 drones at the moment. And if his Banes continue to defend like this, TLO, okay, 5 workers lost. Man, he has a gold base, remember. He comes out of a worker lead and a gold base. Okay, well, Stephano has a gold base too now, I suppose. Stephano is actually still looking to be aggressive, but it really feels like TLO just has a bit too much here. What a hold by TLO, this gold base working out for him. And this opening working here on Lotus, as we do see this Baneling being chased around a little bit. We will see the Baneling will go off. Doesn't really connect on much. Another Bane going to try and maybe get those other Banes low. TLO dancing with his own Zerglings to get some damage done too. TLO and Stephano definitely favorites in this group, I would say, and if they trade maps with each other, well, it could be intriguing, because remember, Stephano dropped a map to Acheron earlier, and that's something which you maybe wouldn't expect TLO to do as well. Although, again, if it's a proxy 4-hacks, who knows what might happen. TLO on the counter now. He sees those Banes just start morphing, so he can go straight for the cancels. No fear at all. He surrounds the drones on the gold. And, well, 3 workers killed and counting. And, well, again, no need to use his own Banelings just yet. He's waiting for those Banes to pop out and maybe pop his own Bane off. Oh, wow. Stephano does nothing with his Banelings at all. And TLO will just continue to take a lead. And Stephano's attack didn't work after such a greedy opening of TLO. TLO is naturally going to be in the lead of this game, and that's where we're at right now. TLO making some roaches, and again, just utilizing this gold base setup. Hatch first from that goal to set himself up here. What a way to get going. What is the map score? I don't know why Andy Mantimity had to issue. The map score is basically, so when they play a map, for example, they play right now, this is one map. As GG's called, TLO wins this map. So TLO wins one.